Hey, ladies and gents, we are back with some Platoon action. I am playing with Exortus, X as I call him, and he is doing LT-15, which is the do 8,000 assisted damage for the Object 260 mission. He jumped on a Discord one night. We don't play as much as we used to together. He's busy, I'm busy. However, the stars aligned tonight, or the other night. I don't know, maybe it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was a little while ago. Never mind. I just got all crazy there for a second. He comes on and goes, I need help with this mission. I said, no problem. I have tanks that can assist you. Typically, for this kind of mission, you want to use, in support role, either a TD or an artillery. One artillery can assist a ways away, hence why we're using this one here, which means he's picked up the 60 TP going over the top of the road, and I'm loaded just as he comes up this edge, and we'll get a little bit. There we go. Pick up a nice 381 on the 60 TP. Now, X only got a part of that because he is, of course, at this time playing with the Wheezy, the other light tank. To do this mission requires a couple of different things to happen. First, you can't have a bunch of fucking wheelies running around because they're fucking always fucking shit up. Two, you can't have a whole bunch of light tanks. Obviously, if there's 4 light tanks on each side, that's even a little harder to do because they're going to take up all your lights. And of course, you have to have the right map, right kind of team, and right kind of essential game that's going to make this possible. Which is the game that you're looking for is something that's going to be long and relatively close. You want as many of your teammates to die. Sadly, to say that, but yeah, it's got to be relatively close game. And of course, like I said, it has to be the right map, it has to be the right kind of tanks, and this worked out perfect for us. It's a mix match of tier 10s, 9s, and 8s. It would have been better if it would have been all 9s, but hey, you can't be always happy about that. And the teams worked out pretty much perfect. Now I'm looking up here to the magic bush, which is always possible here on this map, that there might be a light tank in there. There's a T-49 and a Batchat 12T running around somewhere. The Batchat I got picked up earlier, T-49 has not been spotted. So that means the T-49 on their team is not being active. So you're seeing me here starting to drop a few shells up there. Somebody already has shot up that way one time themselves. But we're trying to find that 49. As an artillery player, I know you got to notice these things. For example, like I said, if the light tank hasn't been spotted early in the game, that means most likely he's bushed up somewhere. So we're going to drop another shell in there as well. There we go. He's actually in that bush right there. I ended up getting about 500 damage off of him. Unfortunately, not enough to kill him, but enough, and he never ran, which is even more surprising. So he's apparently lighting these people on the 1-2 line. Now comes the bitching, which spends about half the game, well, 3/4 of the game, people whining, bitching, moaning about Exortus here. Now, you do realize we do have 2 light tanks, not just the T-49. But the thing about it is that you can't just simply run in there and try to see if you can find a tank that's pushed up. A couple different reasons. There's 3 tank destroyers. There's one of them, 15. So he's got 1,500 hit points. Let's get one more into him. There we go. And of course, the Hawk dies. Now, he died when he was invisible. However, X does end up with all that spotting damage as well. Yeah, it was kind of an interesting. He was at one point X like, I don't know if I got enough for this mission yet. Well, he does get that assisted damage even if they vanish when they die. So he had over 1,500. He had 1,500 just from that one tank. So let's see if we pick up the IS-7. Never mind. X is like, I'm going over this way. So X is going to try to see if he can find this light tank without dying himself. Problem is we have a lot of these so-called experts here, specifically the FV and then of course the Pantera, that the whole light tank thing is just kind of beyond them. Don't poke if you're getting spotted. I sure the hell wouldn't want to, give up my light tank just so we can kill one possible tank here. So, T-44, IS-7, we got stuff up on the hill. I'm not typically worried about the hill in this game because it's usually a slow developing process. Unfortunately, with as many tanks that are sitting right here in the middle, I thought, yeah, they'll be fine on the hill. So, aiming back this way. All right, so we're going to see what we can do. E-75 kills the Oho. We're at 1-4 right now. Don't just go around, go light, do your job, blah, 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 blah. And it's like they don't see Exortus trying his damnedest to light stuff. They've already killed the Fok for it. Yeah. And he's trying not to get lit as little as possible. He's trying not to die. He's actually even further out than I would have been. He's in that little hole right now, going in and out of that trying to pick up lights. He's a brave son of a bitch. That's what I got to give him for him, because it always seems like every time I come up out of that hole, I always get smoked. Tortoise is, for some reason, and not only is he moving up, but he's moving up on the road, which means he's in a position where there's a long stretch of open area in front of him. Yeah, not the choice I would have made, I guess. Oh my God, our light's stuck. Well, once again, now this guy actually ends up with 6,000 damage. Not because of anything he did other than just sit in the bush and use the huge derp gun, but yeah, it's a little ridiculous. There's a little bit more skill involved than just sitting in a bush, specifically. So X is like, yeah, I'm going to go see if I can find that 49. So we're going to have to see if we can get rid of this KV-4. So there's one shot on the KV-4. Puts a 230 into the KV-4. X gets out of there, surprisingly enough, without losing any HP. Boom, KV-4 is dead. Now, why did he go then? Well, kind of one of those deals it's about counting tanks here. So you know there's 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks over here. There's 3 tanks in the middle. That's 8 tanks plus an artillery. There's 9. 3 are dead. So that means the only possibility there's only 3 tanks on the 1-2 line, which are the STRV, T110, E4, and the E75. So by making that run up on the T49, he had a pretty good chance of making it through there without completely dying unless everybody nailed the shot. So hence why he was able to make the run on the T49. This, of course, like I said, it's smart, like tank play. He's not going to throw his HP and his tank away just so Mr. fucking FE215B can get his damage. There's a difference between getting damage and then getting damage and winning. This is probably the reason why I haven't finished all my missions. Typically, I just turn them on and don't even know what they are most of the time. But, I'm not going to throw a game just so I can get a mission. And that's unfortunate. That's seems to be a thing that you see quite often here. So the E100, he is going to get... So let's see if we can get the T44 here. Now, I'm not terribly sure. I was kind of hoping... I was wondering, should I fire at this guy or not, or should I let him get a little closer? I was thinking maybe possibly I could get both of these guys. E100 is working on that IS-7. T44 is the one that's going to get flanked here. There we go. Yep, so the E100 is to the backside. T44 is, of course, finishing him here. And I'm a little worried, of course, that I'm going to stun him, but I'm also going to stun... but he is working around behind that E100. So it's time to get him off, or at least track him. There we go. We pick up the shot on the T-44. There we go. The E-100's got his turn around. I'm thinking he's got this no problem. Ooh, 695 from the 60 TP. So I was a little late on that one. Damn it. Probably should have fired a little sooner, but like I said, I wanted to get... didn't really want to stun the shit out of him. So, T-54 Mod 1 pushes over, and we are a 6-9 game now. X is taking up a position in a bush for the inbound here. He's trying to pick these guys as they come up across.
That was close.
Come up across the top of the map here. That includes the 430 and, of course, the 60 TP. And we're still waiting. And, of course, the Pantera is still crying, noob! Fuck. And, surprisingly enough, X can't actually answer him because I do believe he's chat banned. So, he was unable to defend himself. However, I did have a few words myself with specifically the FV after the game, telling exactly what I thought of him. I completely donked a shot on the 60 TP. Not sure exactly what happened there. He was pretty much right inside my little circle thing, but didn't get him. Oh well, it is what it is. So AMX, there he goes, 430, 54 TP's run, or T44 is pushing in on the AMX 30, and boom, the finish. Nice. So we got 10-9, and we got a possibility E75. X is going to go check out the other side. Udez has not been spotted, so there's a good chance he might still be over here on this side. X is going to go do it. So X is not going to throw a game just to get his spotted. He'd probably get his spot if he went down the 1-2 line. However, there's a chance. Well, there he is right there, the Udez. If you left him on the flank, it could have been very difficult. He would have been in he would have been in a good position to work our team over from that side. So they finish off the Udez. So it leaves the E75 and T10 in the Strev. These guys are all mostly full health, if not all full health, since we haven't seen the 2 TDs. So X is going to go check the other side just to make sure, and we'll check out what's going on the 1-2 here. FE215, there's the 210E4. Kind of an interesting place to go. They played pretty passive the whole game. There we go. We're going to track him right there so he can't move. E75, he chooses once again, vanishes. Ooh, STRV finishes off the MX-30. And X is coming back this direction here. Try to give us some lights here. FE215B finally gets a pair. He's going to move up out of his bush, out of his comfort zone. Maybe take a shot here. No, there's E75. He just shows up right in front of him. And not sure what his deal is, what he's hanging out here. I'm holding my shot because I'm waiting for X to, there you go, put a shell into his track. So he's going to get all the assisted damage. E75 is already spotted, so the only way I can get assisted damage to X is wait for him to track. So once he tracked him, there we go, he gets the assisted damage from my artillery shell. STRV is left, and I'm going to show you both sides of this game, not just my side, but I'm also going to show Exortus' side as well. Yes, it's a nice comeback. Well played by our light tank. I don't know if I can say about the rest of them. There we go. Finished off the STRV. And we were sitting at, I ended up with 26 something out of this deal for damage by the time it was all said and done. There's the bad chat. Let's see if I can get a bullshit RNG shot. Yep, we finished him off. So that's my point of view. I'm going to bring up X's and we'll see what it looks like to get the 8,000 assisted damage. All right, ladies and gents, we are back with X's part of the video. He's, of course, playing the T49, and we are on proc. I said earlier in the video, it requires a little bit of everything to make this work. And I think he said he was working on this mission for a couple months, not having the best luck at it here. So we were lucky enough to get good matchmaking, perfect amount of light tanks, perfect around no wheelies, perfect amount of player-wise, that kind of stuff. So it worked out perfect here. So he's telling me right away in the chat where he's headed, and I've already stopped and pre-aimed. Picks up the 60 TP and the IS-7. And let's see here if we can pick up the first part of the damage here on the 60 TP. Yep, there we go, 381. He only gets 190 of it, but hey, it's all right. Better than nothing. He's already at 376 for the spotted. And we're making a run here, or he's making another run here to see what he can find. Looking, there's the T-44, the IS-7 again. I'm not loaded, of course. Now, any good artillery player that's worth his shit has to pre-aim right off the bat, especially on a map like this. I'm not traveling for a reason. Like I said, I'm talking to my teammate here, and he's telling me where he's going. And if you don't have a teammate or a Discord, simply watching the light tanks where they're headed will show you, of course, where they'll get spotted. And that's exactly what we were talking about in chat here. X is like, I'm going to make the center run on the E line. That, of course, means I need to be pre-aimed to give him the most amount of assisted damage as I can. That's artillery. Typically in this kind of matchup, you want to be running either some sort of support tank. Obviously, you can do it with any tank, but it seems works best with artillery and or a TD. So he gets lit. He's playing super aggressive here, right up here inside this bowl, which can go bad either way. You know, if he comes in and out of that bowl, he's got shots can be possible if he gets lit here. But once again, he's after this mission, so he's being more aggressive to get the spots, trying to keep these guys lit as much as possible for assisted damage here. So now down he comes. There's stuff up on the hill now at the 0 line, so he's got to be watchful of that. And fire at Magic Bush. Yes, we know about the Magic Bush, yet we have a number of players that have pushed up quite a ways, which isn't a bad thing necessarily either, but yeah, not easy. So X is trying his damnedest to pick this guy up. Just checking it as he goes. Normally, hitting that path right there usually lets you see somebody sitting in that bush. Unfortunately, there's nothing popped here. So he's back out of that. And you can see, of course, I'm starting to drop shells there as well, just to make sure there is nobody there. But yeah, that T-49. Normally, and I said about the other part of the video, is that if you don't see a light tank, you know, for example, the Batchat 12T or this T-49, there's a good chance they're sitting in a bush somewhere. It's not too many bushes that can pick up a lot of damage. Now, I'm pretty sure early on in the game he wasn't actually in that bush. He was down one more bush down, the one that's on the E instead of the F, one that he's currently aimed at right now. There he goes. He gets picked up again. He only moved up a little bit later. I did get 500 damage out of him. There we go. Bach gets picked up, and 1,550 damage. Here's the first part of it for him. He gets a little bit more, 399, and a little bit more, and he's dead. Now that didn't show for X. However, he does get that assisted damage. It only showed up after the game. So grand total, I think he had 8,600 assisted damage total, plus the 900 and some damage that he had. So he was well over his 8,000 mark here. So IS-7 just got a little bit more off of him. So he's only up to 1,000 right now showing, and he's working his way up here. Now the Tort is in the absolute worst possible position on the high side of the road there, which means anything over on this side can shoot across and hit the Tort. Right? That's not a good, and he's lucky that he was this far. Panther 8.8 goes balls deep into the center. Not the best place. And like I said, the Tort is still hanging out on top of that ridge. That is, if the IS-7 would be paying attention here, he'd be dropping shells on the Tort here. So the Batchat finishes, artillery finishes off the 8.8, and they picked up the 103, and it is a 3-1 game right now. IS-7 still spotted, E-100. They're all fired. These guys are all firing. Thankfully, the Wheezy 132 on our side, the other light tank, is dead. He went AFK or he disconnected, one of the two. We just have the E100, or the AMX-30 and the E100 firing up the hill. E75 has fingered out the Osh, killed the Oho, and don't just go around, the Pantera says. Well, you're a fucking moron, because you have to stay alive as a light tank. And that's exactly what, I'm not terribly sure what these guys are complaining about. Getting too far into a situation like this, there's a lot of ground to cover between here and there for him to pick up here. He's trying, X is doing his damnedest to pick up that light tank. However, he's not going to trade all of his HP just to knock out a light tank, which means later on in the game, and you'll see what I'm talking about, when light tanks become super important in this game for vision. Dodges the artillery shell like a boss, and he's on the run here. He's going to go around here, pick up a little bit of our speed, and he's going to come back this way. He's going to make sure he's good and not spotted before he comes back. Even as much as these guys bitch, yeah. It's hilarious. Now, for somebody that obviously he has absolutely no fucking clue about light tanks. Now, X gets spotted. X is like, fuck it. I've counted tanks. I know what's going on here. Let's see if we can pick up a quick shell here. There we go. Picks up the T-49. T-49 was sitting in a perfect position. That's why X was not being able to light him on that one side there. Now, he put a shell into him. Like I said, I got 500 damage out of him by splashing him, but he just never moved. Pretty ballsy. So, they've finally made the criers kind of shut up. That was super ballsy on X's part to make that, but he did realize that there's only 3 tanks left on the 1-2 line. So, he's going to make one more run here. He's going to see the Batchat hasn't been spotted for a while. Oh, guess who's right there? There's the other Batchat. Picks up the E75. And bye-bye, Bat Chat. FV finishes off the Bat Chat 12T. And he puts him up to 37, whatever. Finally! I actually had some, like I said, I had a little conversation with the FV 215B and found out he's a fucking idiot. His opinion is light tanks are just there to throw themselves out so he can pick it, so he can get damage. Yes, that's exactly why light tanks do what they do. So the Wheezy 132 is AFK, and X is watching the possibility of them coming over the bottom side. That's why he's picked this bush here. He's got a nice view of everything down that railroad track, except for the far possible corner, and he's also got a nice view of right here. So he's picking up some, like I said, view range on both sides here. The Pantera's moved. FV215's moving around now. Yep, there we go. So Easy 132's in, and the E100, like I said, when I was with others, I said, why did you just YOLO over the other side? So the E100 is, yep, there he goes. Just not, that was the weird choice to go over the other side, without have anybody to support him. He has nobody to support him other than myself, who kind of just flobbed a shot there on the T-44 and hopefully gave him a chance. Unfortunately, no, didn't help. So the Wheezy 132 just got hit. Probably by the Udez. T-54 comes over. Yep, he's going to finish him off, the Wheezy 132. Oh no, I'm sorry, the Udez does. The Udez is up on the hill. T-54 just gets annihilated. Means the 60 TP and the 430 are on the way in here. I get a little bit of a damage there. Excuse me. And X is already up to 4K for his assistant. 60 TP is going to make a charge across. Kind of an interesting choice there, especially if there's an FV183 around. Yep, 1121 to the side of the 60 TP. And he's, like I said, X is playing this as ballsy as he can. He's waiting. 60 TP finally shows up right there, and he makes a run. He gets 99 and then he gets also heated by the 60 TP. Really fucking heat round and a T10 heavy. Lovely. AMX 30 is going to make him punish him for his, mistakes. There we go. 408. Needs one more shot to finish off the 60 TP. Here comes the T54. Ooh, 430 finishes off the 60 TP. And they're going to see if they can pick up the AMX 30 or save him from dying. Never mind. AMX 30 finishes him off. Now we pulled back to a 10-9 game. Udez is on the other side. However, there's 2 tanks that have not been spotted. So there's still at least 3 full tanks on the enemy side. So X is at 55-25. That's what he's spotted, and what of course he's actually did damage to. Picks up the Udez 16. He didn't forget about him, and now the Udez is going to die very quickly. Well done. It's amazing how many people will just forget about an entire line as they look down the 1-2. Knowing that the Udez is there, there's a good chance of the Udez making sitting in that bush right there and sniping them as they get lit from the safety of the corner. So knocking him out is always great. Hence why X is going to go check this side one last time just to make sure there's nothing else on the 8-9 line. E4 gets picked up. Now, yep, nothing here. So now he's headed back toward the other side. So E75, T10, E4 got picked up. And he's going to see if he can get back over here and try to get his last little bit of spotting damage. Of course, he's sitting at 6,280. He needs another 1,800. Of course, he also had the 1,000 and some damage with the Fawk that died. So he's already probably at 72 or so, roughly, is what he needed after. Of course, he doesn't know that. He didn't know that until he got back to garage here. E75 gets picked up. Unfortunately, he did not do that. So, and you're watching the other video, I'm waiting for him to get here close enough to pick up the track shot on the E75. 385 for that. There we go. We put him up to 7,040. He only needs 1,000 or 1,000 more damage to get his mission. Which is luckily enough, we have about 1,500 left to find. So, he's off to the races here. The Strev does not have enough firepower to end him. So he's going to be rolling through here, and he's of course going to pick up the Strav right about there. There he is. Finds him from the rear. Let's see if we get a little bit of a shot in the rear. There we go. And he picks up the 8,000 assisted damage. Artillery is fired, so now he goes. So well played, X. Letting all the haters hate, all that good stuff. And we did pick up the mission for the win. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a good night.